So when you have accumulated all the knowledge, accumulated all the wisdom you got from the world and the experience,
Yeah.
and then you tell the person you are old, it's such a shame. I
Yeah.
would like.
Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to Parenthood. I'm Neha, and every week I sit down with a parent, not to hand parenting advice, but to hold space for real stories, honest reflections, and beautiful messiness that defines raising a child while still growing into yourself. Today's episode is especially close to the heart because my guest is someone who brings together thoughtfulness, quiet strength, and an incredible commitment to doing things her own way, whether it's in design, in business, or in motherhood. I'm so happy to welcome Shubh Cheema to the podcast today. Shubh is an architect, an entrepreneur, and a mother to 19-month-old Adya. Her journey into motherhood, especially as someone who became a mother at 40, has been shaped by deep insight, intention, and lived experience. She has navigated health challenges, chosen to parent hands on without help, and reflected on systems, especially the birthing system, through the eyes of a designer. Shubh and her partner Chris Nair have shared a long, evolving partnership rooted in deep friendship, creative pursuits, and mutual respect. Today, she joins us to talk about conception after an ectopic pregnancy, the physical and emotional labor of motherhood, the surprising design of birthing spaces, and what it means to take charge of your health before everything else. Shubh, thank you for being here. I'm so looking forward to this conversation.
Thanks for such a nice introduction, Neha. I wouldn't have written it that way, but it's beautifully said.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Thank you. And to begin with, let's start with a little self-portrait in words, if we may call it so. If you had to pick just three words or phrases to describe who you are right now, what would they be and why?
Mm, I would say introspection is the first word that comes to me. Uh,
Yeah.
that's how I lead my life.
Yeah.
Uh, Self-improvement
Mm-hmm.
aspects, and definitely success. I would add success to it because success has to come after, a little bit of introspection, and I'm still waiting for that, but it's there. It's
It's on its way. It's on its way.
the point of the success is that you look at some larger, larger than life thing, which never
Yeah.
happens. It's always in the steps. And
Right.
you have to remind yourself, oh, you are a little successful there and here, and
Yeah.
so I will consider myself successful from that perspective.
That's beautiful, beautiful. Now tell us a little about your family, Shubh. What's life like these days with little Adya? What's she like?
Um, it's difficult to explain, of course. It's been a whirlwind, to be
Mhm.
honest, and we enjoyed ourselves in the pregnancy. The whole I took a little break
Yeah,
from usually to um I meditated a lot. I spent time with myself. I had, taken care of my body and everything. Basically, the things I never used to do.
yeah,
I in those, last few years, basically after COVID, you can say.
yeah.
And then suddenly she came, and then now this is basically the person crying, the person asking for attention. We are very pretty silent kind of people,
Yeah,
not too much noise, and we have been together for a good number of years. So we have that very silent, rhythm to the life. And
right.
suddenly it's haywire. You can't put things here, you can't put things here, and
Mm.
there's attention, seeking. There is this now another thing is like lying, and because we have two cats,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, isne mara, usne mara. The cat has hit me, or so suddenly all these maneuvering,
yeah,
tantrums, of course. Yeah, so it's whirlwind.
yeah.
But we are enjoying it. We are into it, and
Mm,
every day is a different day.
yeah.
Definitely.
And your relationship with Chris, it's clearly been through so many seasons. You've been friends for so long and married, and you've even run a business together. How would you describe the relationship you've built both before and after becoming parents?
Um, So before it was more like, partnership is the best word.
Yeah.
You are running together. You think yourself as supporting each other in all
Mm-hmm.
senses. With child, it's a little different dynamics because now there's one aspect which gets solidified as a mother and father. So for the longest of the time, we never really told the child, oh, call us mama, or because ourselves are getting used to the idea of being a father
Right.
and mother. So we took our time to name her. We took our time to ask her to call mama, or for him macha, which is the Malayalam word. And it um, because again it took us a long I am pretty sure people get used to it much more earlier. For us it was say 6, 7, 8 months
Yeah.
to get into it. Oh, we are here now with it. And to the reality of the a person asking or naming you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's beyond friendship. Definitely now it's even as a married couple, it was
Mm.
very much embedded in friendship. It
Yeah.
was That was the first core layer.
Yeah.
Now it is friendship plus plus plus. I don't know. We have to be hands on.
Yeah.
We never really fought before, but
Mm-hmm.
had our meltdowns after.
Yeah.
I had like more expectations of him, which I never had because I always thought, oh, equals and blah blah blah. We have that very feminist view growing up. We have to be on our own.
Yeah.
But after child, I think you have to depend on each other. You have to ask, and that was a little new for me.
Yeah.
Be very explicit in asking. Please do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You have to do this. I'm not gonna do this,
Yeah.
or I will do this and take the responsibility of some task.
Yeah.
So that transition is very difficult for me. Then I'm sure it's difficult for other people also.
Yeah.
The mental transition where you are dependent also and you're not dependent also.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And otherwise, when you are solo, even in a marriage, you're on your own. Your partner is on your own. You are doing your own things.
That's right. Yeah.
And here is a collective effort required. The two people required for one task.
Yeah.
More teamwork, more than actually business.
Yeah.
Business, you both are handling very different things.
Yeah.
But here it is actual teamwork.
Yeah.
You get to know how good of a team you are.
How is it going?
It's going well. It's going well. Like I said, we had our own few meltdowns here and there, but I think he took it with a proper sport. He
Mm.
took it like, okay, she's just going through a rough patch. And I made more of the ask, which I have done not over the years.
Yeah.
I asked more of him,
Mm-hmm.
which was, I think, but the people have to step up basically
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
role.
And how do you preserve that friendship in this whirlwind of parenting?
So, so when we were dating and when we got married, we used to take this 1 hour in the evening,
Mm-hmm.
like a coffee break
Mm.
every day. So we have been doing this for past, we are married for 20 years, I don't know, maybe 18 years. And I'm pretty sure 20 years we are married. So we used to take that 1 hour break in the evening,
Mm-hmm.
basically talk about what happened
Mm.
and just whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Um, so after like initial few months, we realized that we need that 1 hour for ourselves. Basically, we need to walk,
Yeah.
and we need to go to the coffee shop. We need to sit there. We need to just. So we very early on had 1 hour kind of babysitter for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we still go. She walks around. We
Yeah.
live in a nice compound place. She walks around, and we take our walk, and we do our coffee, and we come back in 30, 40 minutes, and that's how it works. So it gives us like evening rundown basically of the whole
Yeah.
day. If
Yeah.
there's anything,
Yeah. Yeah.
so decompress ourselves and compose ourselves, or see what we want or what we want to say to each other, which we haven't said in the day,
Yeah.
got a chance to say.
Yeah.
Just catch up on, oh, how's the things going,
Yeah.
something happened the day or something like that. So it
Yeah.
really, it doesn't sound much, but it really helps. 30,
No,
40 together.
yeah, it sounds like a lot. I'm happy that you are able to take that time out and first of all realize the importance of doing that, and then be able to take that time out and say we need to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. Also, she's happy with, so she's walking around. She started walking, because more confidently, because if you are in the house only, then the kid
Yeah.
will always be stuck there. Also, she's meeting new kids and all of that. So for her also, it's little, time away from the parents.
That's right. That's
And
right. Yeah.
navigate the world how she wants to. She want to smile, not smile, say no, not say no. She learn all of that.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
I'm glad that you're able to find that kind of, babysitter for an hour, because from where you are, I mean, at the place that you are, Bombay, maybe you can just like there are facilities available that you can avail.
yeah,
Because in a place like where I am, there are no such, we were just talking about Montessori play school, and
yeah,
like, I'm deprived of such places for my kids and such facilities that if you want to take a break, you can't take a break,
yeah,
that's
yeah. So the point is that even if you are having a bad day, for
yeah.
example, kid is having tantrum, you are having whatever, your health is not well. There are days you know that by 6 o'clock we will be out
Yeah.
of this house, and by 7:30, and it's like fixed time, so the kid knows that.
Yeah.
So we have another thing, we are very like a time bound people, you know.
Yeah.
That this time this is going to happen, this time this is going to happen, because we're kind of little boring people. Don't do on those. So which kind of really helpful for the kid,
Yeah.
because he knows that I am going to get out of the house by 6.
Yeah.
There is Sonia Didi is gonna come, and we are gonna walk.
Mm.
Doesn't matter if it's heat or whatever, and we are going to take the round of the building. So after a few months, she started picking those things, first
Yeah.
stones and all of that. Now she got bored of it, and I was like, "What next?" Already done all of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's also give her time to. I'm sure she walks around. She's bored, which is
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
So toys. The babysitter doesn't come to the house, so
Yeah.
you have to stay out
Yeah.
1 hour, 1.5 hour, walk around, watch birds or anything, or trees and all that.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, because we live in a city, we have to like make do of these small, small things.
Yeah, yeah. And can we go back to the very beginning of your parenting journey with Adya? Becoming a mother at 40 is still not spoken about enough. Could you
Yes.
share how that journey unfolded for you?
Um, the first thing, actually, I never had very strong viewpoints on when to become mother and when not to become mother. Basically,
Mhm.
we both were very flexible. We never had that discussion at all. Uh, we thought like, okay, whenever it happens, kind of thing.
Right.
But I was very, because we were in that startup kind of thing, I knew that we are not ready.
Yeah.
So we just, also, I'm an architect, which also had its own ups and downs. Sometimes, you're doing good, sometimes you're not doing good. So financially also, we were like not there, mentally not
Right.
there. So
Yeah.
that was the only thing. When we will reach there, we will have it.
Yeah.
We will have that conversation. So suddenly, when I had like that ectopic pregnancy kind of scare, and there was a huge surgery. It was a nick of the time, basically. I didn't knew about it. I didn't knew that something like this can happen. Uh,
Right.
and the most angry part is that you call yourself educated and you really don't know.
Yeah.
The hospital with extreme pain for last 2 days, and you couldn't figure out like why you're bleeding, why there's a pain.
Yeah.
Right? Ideally, you should know it, that
Yeah.
this can be a scenario.
Yeah.
Um, so a little bit of anger on myself also, like how can I not know about this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then going through that whole, we were like very thankful. Oh, we reached the place because we live near Lilavati, so
Mhm.
we just took an auto and went to Lilavati. Can you
Mhm.
imagine? Like, I never thought it's like such a serious thing.
Yeah.
extreme pain हो रहा है, maybe appendix है.
Yeah.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
And so they said it was a Sunday. They said like we have to operate right now. It's
Mm.
so they call the doctor and so anyways, once I got through that, suddenly I started because all the hormones were already,
Yeah.
pregnancy hormones were already there. And also after, this thing, they ask you to rest and all of that. So suddenly I started gaining weight
Mm-hmm.
and really bloated up.
Mm.
And like a pregnant woman you would do,
Mhm. Yeah.
just bloat up. Not a Before that, I have never exercised in my life. I have never taken thought on the food. I was that, just, just you study. The mind is the thing.
Yeah.
The body is not the thing
Yeah.
you focus on, which was like a very skewed way of looking at life, I would say.
Yeah.
Very rooted in, of course, we have to succeed, kind of, and you do not think your body is actually a good body is a part of the success. If you're well, it's a part of success.
Yeah.
So within 1 year, I was basically like really fat and all of that. And then suddenly I couldn't breathe, basically.
Mm.
So I'm a little short, and so the lungs and all, I don't know. It really felt like I couldn't breathe in the night.
Yeah.
I have to do something.
Mm.
Have to One fine day I said like I have to go to yoga to
Mm.
start something physical, so that I get better, that I don't feel bloated, I don't feel like. So I started doing yoga, and that's how suddenly it started making sense in my head.
Mm.
Oh, this is the missing link
Yeah.
in my life somehow. Because every time after every yoga session, I would come, oh man, this is a thought I never really occurred to me.
Yeah.
This clicked in my head.
Yeah.
Uh, I understood this thing, and not just health, just generally.
Yeah.
Your mind is much more sharper, and
Yeah.
so yeah. After that, it again we just did yoga. Then we joined gym, did all of that whole thing, weights and all. We were just enjoying life. Then after that, then yeah, then the mental. So once you have the physical health,
Yeah.
your mind starts changing, then your thoughts start changing, and you start contemplating, and then the meditation came.
Yeah.
COVID happened, and and we did extreme exercise, we did extreme meditation, and suddenly it was a different world we were looking at,
Hmm.
and not at all like the you can say the whole personality transformed.
That's right.
That's how I felt, at least.
Yeah.
The focus shifted, life focus shifted. What is important, what is not important, what we need to do at this moment, what we don't need to do at this moment. And suddenly it lasts for 2 3 days, 2 3 years, basically that same contemplation. Because I
Yeah.
had realizations, oh, this.
Mm.
You have to heal, and you have to put yourself in perspective on those things. And definitely then after like the child happened. So it was a blessing from that perspective. Like
Yeah.
if I was mother at uh, the first time,
Yeah.
uh, I think I would not be mentally there.
Mm. Mm.
I would be very disassociated, very go-getter, just
Mm.
just focusing on my work, and that's the only thing important
Yeah.
kind of person.
Yeah. Yeah. And could you share a little bit about your birthing experience? What you remember, what stayed with you? How was it like?
So like I said, I was fully aware of this whole other aspects of birthing, and people kept on talking about, this is the wrong position to birth, and the hospitals are not this, and hospitals are not that. I thought maybe it's an exaggeration. I don't know. I thought, how can the medical system be so not, caring about the person?
Yeah.
So I had an ectopic pregnancy at the same place, and they took care of me. So I was like, man, I'm going to go to same doctor, same hospital. I had like, I fully believe in them. Uh, they're still nice. The doctors were nice and all of that. There's a huge story to it. That's a different story. But the simple aspect is that we went in the morning. So first they started asking, okay, you want to book OT?
Hmm.
And we both were like, why we want to book OT in, not, so they were like just hinting you want to book an OT at some, because they were assuming that you will have a cesarean.
Yeah.
Uh, so we both didn't reacted to it and like, we don't care. Taken. By the time I was walking every evening, same routine,
Yeah.
walking, going to the coffee shop, doing the same stuff, climbing the staircase, doing all of that, doing exercises. Um, so it later struck me, oh, people choose dates, people
Yeah.
choose timing. Uh, but we were like, we are gonna, you know, free flow it. Let's
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah.
So the day it happened, we woke up in the morning. I knew that it's gonna happen in a day or two because it was very near to the date. And we went straight to the, again, it's just minutes, Leelavati. And we went there and they admitted it all fine and everything. Of course, extra, of course, it's very painful. No explaining that aspect. And within say 5 minutes, I was like, dude, this is extremely painful. Let's go for cesarean.
Okay.
So I'm like, I cannot take this pain. I
Hmm.
don't want to be a hero. I told him specifically that I don't want to be a hero. And he was like totally in sync with me. You don't need to be a hero.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's do cesarean. So my the thing was my doctor was not there.
Yeah.
She's US, so she was basically saying that I will be there for your delivery. Don't worry. She has some family issues and all. So she had sent some other doctor. And so they said, you have to take the test and all. We will prepare.
Hmm.
Yes, basically, you can say I just folded in 10 minutes.
Hmm.
My whole meditation, and everything went off the box. Um, that's the first thing I want to tell people. Like, you feel like that. That is the reality. Why you are doing this hard way.
Yeah.
Um, and they just said, okay, sign kar do and all of that. So I signed everything and they were preparing. So everything went for test. I had some liver thing. So they thought like we will check that test.
Yeah.
So it took time. The reports got lost. Something happened. And by the time it was time for basically when doctor came in,
Hmm.
it's just like you are there. You don't and they just delivered it. So basically it just happened not by my core mental strength or something. It
Yeah.
just happened because something universal said, why not have this
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
uh, on the bed issue, so they put me on this flat bed and they were just checking all the vitals and all of that, and I'm telling them I need to go to bathroom because
Yeah.
of course the urge is to stand up.
Yeah.
And they said, no, that's dangerous, you can't stand up. Okay, because it's dangerous, you can't go to bathroom. uh, and I said, like, I was pretty angry at that whole thought because first I'm in pain,
Yeah.
and you just ignoring my request, and I'm not used to basically. Again, I feel like if I'm saying something with conviction, please listen to me.
Yeah.
uh, and so they were putting some belt and just to monitor all the vitals again. And I say, I'm like, this is not feels intuitive to me.
Yeah.
Also, the bed was, so the whole urge was to sit.
Yeah.
So then I realized, holy shit, people were correct. Actually, the squatting position is the right position.
Yeah.
You feel like, or maybe on the forelegs, or this bed is not very conducive for the person.
Yeah.
And while I'm in the pain, while all of this is going, I'm thinking of that.
Yeah.
I have to take a mental note that this is not correct,
Yeah.
because I am saying something which is
Yeah.
very intuitive to me, and they are saying, no, we can't do it
Yeah.
because they don't have the apparatus to do it.
Yeah.
No protocol. So I understand from their perspective, but second thought, I missed something in that. Yeah, so that was it. basically. And but I made a mental note definitely that I will go back and tell people who told me that this is how it is. Say, oh, you are correct. There has to be a different way of birthing,
Yeah.
rather than this where you are treated like a patient,
Yeah.
lying down, and you cannot even move around,
That's right. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they are treating you as a very fragile thing, the baby as a very fragile thing.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that this is human bodies, or even the baby is very fragile.
Hmm.
If you have that kind of flooring,
Yeah.
you know, uh, but there is, because the design is so non-conducive, design is for a patient who is going to lie down.
Yeah.
The protocol is that, and you
Yeah.
cannot change it. So you have to change the design, you have to change the protocol at some level. The other next aspect was, since nobody is, the nurses were pretty, what do you say? What is the word? They were like surprised that
Mhm.
it's painful.
Yeah.
Have we gone to such a stage there, a girl shouting, or because it's nobody is doing it
Yeah.
in that ways. It
Yeah.
means that the staff is basically can't handle that aspect
Yeah.
of a
Yeah.
person's pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct. So you have to have that kind of, because you have, when you have seen it multiple times, you do not react that way.
That's right. Yeah.
That means they have not seen it enough.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know and the it's a full floor is the maternity ward, so it
Hmm.
doesn't matter how much the person is shouting or not shouting.
Yeah.
Correct. And you
And
cannot.
even if it is not, like if you are in that position,
Yeah.
how does it matter that the floor is not maternity ward or it is?
Yeah, correct, but that's what I'm saying, that it felt like they are not prepared for a normal birthing scenarios, which
Yeah.
I found very surprising, given that it's a top hospital in India.
Yeah.
Correct. I'm not talking about, say, I'm talking about Leelavati here.
Yeah.
And I was a little mind boggled with the fact that um, uh, that means the care which women are asking
Hmm.
is basically no one is listening.
Yeah.
Even everyone around me was a woman.
Hmm.
Correct. The only empathetic person is my husband. He was sitting around me and like, it's gonna be okay. Correct.
Yeah.
So the guy is more empathetic here, and
Yeah.
the women in the system think that why are, like, we are making such a fuss about this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, my doctor was amazing, uh, but I'm saying because they have not seen it enough, because
Yeah.
everyone probably have cesarean.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not blaming women for cesarean option. Like I said, the first thing in 10 minutes, I folded and I said, please let's have cesarean.
Yeah.
It is extremely painful.
Yeah.
Um, but the we cannot assume that you do not give care,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. And then uh, like everyone was surprised, like at 40 you are able to do this. I'm like, isn't it normal? I'm just kind of like, they're coming and looking at me like as if they have seen a very different dodo bird kind of scenario, which makes me feel, what is wrong. Either I am wrong, so
Yeah.
something is wrong here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and which also gives you an impression that, how far we think 40 is old. 40 is definitely not old. I just want to
Yeah.
tell that 40 is not
Yeah.
old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our eating habits are wrong.
Yeah.
Correct. And the whole mental mindset of, 40 years old Indian mindset, इतने तक बच्चे हो जाते हैं, blah blah हो जाता है, all that is kind of actually taking us. The 40 is when you actually start.
Yeah.
So if I say I actually got to know a lot of things by 40,
Yeah.
and I changed my behavior, I changed myself. So this is a second life,
Yeah.
literally after 40. So you are gonna run like horse after 40.
Hmm.
You're saying 40 pe you are old.
Hmm.
So when you have accumulated all the knowledge, accumulated all the wisdom you got from the world and the experience,
Yeah.
and then you tell the person you are old, it's such a shame. I
Yeah.
would like.
And you said, I'm very fascinated by what you said, that where you are, in this juncture of life where you find yourself today. Tell me, where is it in terms of your roles, your rhythm, and your inner world? Like, how do you find yourself today? Uh,
Little lost with the kid, definitely. Don't have much time to meditate on a lot of things.
yeah,
Uh, but it's glad that I did it before.
yeah,
So there was some clarity. So that when you are actually in this fog, I would call this as a fog
yeah,
time. Uh, there are the patterns are already set,
yeah,
and those patterns are the ones you want to follow.
yeah,
The ones which were there. Like if I look at my 20s and 30s, I was such an angry person and go out there and just fight it out, basically.
yeah,
And why can't I fight it out?
yeah,
I can make through it. I can just bulldoze through it. Uh, and now I feel like, oh, there is actually no need to do that really.
yeah.
You the things that are gonna happen or anyways gonna happen, you need
Mm,
to manage definitely.
mm,
But you don't need to bulldoze things. You
yeah,
don't need to be an angry person and bulldoze and be very people think uh, that is how the motivated people do. They
mm,
do those things.
yeah.
They go through it. I will give you a funny thing that how people have changed because I'm like a two different person and some
Yeah,
of know me as
yeah,
previous person and now person. So they will um so I did someone's project previously and I met after COVID and after all of that. My clothing changed actually. I wear what I want to wear now.
mm,
And and I was talking about, they were building another house.
yeah,
Yeah, why don't you have like a pretty space? We can have this vegetable garden if you want. You have space for that. I can
yeah,
do, and you can have, I can make a party space for you. You can invite people and because the ideas change entirely for me.
yeah,
Uh, so I always had that hedonistic aspect to my
yeah,
design,
yeah,
but this time around it was hedonistic plus wellness also.
right,
Because now I can see that how wellness impact. And if I do it in design, it will help.
yeah,
Uh, so I was just giving people nudges around, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this?
mm,
Um, and they think it's a very what do you say? Ultimately, they didn't choose me to design
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Uh, uh, and I was thinking about like different city you will not be able to manage or all that. I think the architect being mellow, people
yeah,
think that that person will not be able to manage
yeah,
contractors and manage. And I have done the work before also.
yeah,
They know that I can do that. Uh, Again, at that time also it was in a different city. This time around in a different city.
yeah,
With they still want a bulldozing person.
mm,
So it worked for me in
mm,
my 20s and 30s. And suddenly now I feel like I have to find a very different breed of people.
right, right,
Old, like a set of people, because they are not there.
yeah,
If I tell them
yeah,
the truth technically is that if I'm building the houses for people, uh, first I tell them I'm the well-wisher,
yeah,
just a hired gun,
yeah,
and uh, your friend.
mm,
Literally, if somebody's doing your house, it has to be a friend.
that's right,
No, they cannot. And what I'm telling you is basically more about wellness because
yeah,
this is wellness,
yeah,
and I'm talking about hedonistic because the love is a aspect of it.
Yeah.
Personal space is an aspect of it.
Yeah.
For me, personal space is a very big topic.
Yeah.
I give very much emphasis to personal space, personal thoughts, personal, yes. And I do the same with my design.
Yeah.
And house design is very linked to this, all of these things, wellness and all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a, but the people have to be there.
Yeah. How
To
do you find such people then? What has work been like these days?
it's I do. People find me. I don't know how. I don't go out and say things. I
Yeah.
just eat most of the time.
Yeah.
So is my people recommend.
Yeah.
We have a conversation. Some people come back. Some people don't come back. Also because it's it's money.
Yeah.
Also, I totally understand. Um, so I do not push people to do. So it's one. I get few projects here and there. That's how it is. I
Yeah.
try them. Uh,
Yeah.
it's not like a big business, definitely. It cannot be, anyways, architecture cannot be that
Yeah.
big a business. But
Yeah.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
That's what and I want to be with the people who enjoy that process also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
I'm,
is there a typical day in your life right now? Like, do you have a routine? You said you are very time bound people. What does a typical day look like for you?
so these days, we just ship the kid for, and start our work. So this is our work time.
Yeah.
And we do our calls. He also work from home. So we like in our comfortable space. We don't think you need to be in office. We will definitely have offices, uh, but it's not for thinking you need an
Yeah.
office. It's for execution you need office.
Yeah.
It's for probably people, the team building, because they want to come and they want to share that thing. But we are very loners kind of in that perspective.
Yeah.
Uh, we need our time to think through things, write through things. So we do our own thing. And then, like I said, in the evening, we do
Yeah.
share, like a give a perspective. If we have any grudge, we have like some steam to blow off. There's no other person. We are there for each other on that. We take the kid around 12, and then we just basically feed her and feed ourselves.
Yeah.
Then when she sleeps, we have another 2 hours of time.
Yeah.
So I think it's slotted in 3 hours.
Yeah.
And in the evening, we get he takes a little bit more time after she
Yeah.
wakes up and I feed her alone. Because of course he's running his company. He do apologize to people now. Oh, so there's an external call, there's an internal call. Internal call is she's like, okay, we are
Yeah.
going because the houses are not big in Bombay.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
but in external calls, we give him some space.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. And that's it. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Most of the time. We take like few hours here and there. We stole time here and there.
Yeah.
Hmm. In
Yeah.
that, everything happens in that, So another thing, you don't really need, like, people give this 10 hours of running through things,
Yeah.
but you need a very clear vision and
Yeah.
executors, you need help. Definitely you need help.
Yeah.
So you need to carve that work relationship also,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we don't have any nanny. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we have to make that choice. We have to make that choice,
Yeah.
uh, that how we do this.
Yeah.
Uh, are we going to give the child to someone and go to offices, or are we going to manage this?
Yeah.
So in my head, it was more about it's just 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
Literally, it's just 3 years. For him, I was telling him it's just 18 summers, like literally with the child. It's not much time.
Yeah.
That people think, oh my God, so much time. I think it's a very little time with a child.
Yeah.
And I would rather spend it with her than anything else. So
Yeah.
even if I do less work, which I am actually doing just one project at this moment, uh, I do tell people, look, I am in that phase of my life where I have this child and I have responsibilities, and if you can adjust with that kind of, because I might not answer on the emails or WhatsApps like there and then. Some
Yeah.
because I carry my phone with me.
Yeah.
Then I've kept it somewhere else. It's on silent. So those choices and the negative aspect you have to take. You have to internally realize that, okay, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
To tell people,
Yeah.
you have to keep them updated with the
Yeah.
fact that, I am not ignoring anyone, but I might not answer right away.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Because if I carry my phone with me, then the child is anyways gonna, you know, will try to use it.
Yeah.
So we don't have a TV in our house. We
Yeah.
have very different, so we keep the phones a little, but he uses phone definitely. So the child can, okay, identify this person does this.
Yeah.
He's always on laptop, he's always working. But there is one parent who is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Somebody has to take that responsibility,
That's
definitely.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know.
and you said, like you don't have a nanny, you don't have that kind of support. And we often say it takes a village, but in a setup where you're fully hands-on with all the without much help, what has your village looked like? Have you found community in new or unexpected places?
Also, we live in this society which
Yeah.
has this nice garden at the back and the nice, walkway around the building, which is again a very blessing in Bombay.
Yeah.
Uh, so there are a lot of kids in the
Yeah.
building. So when she walks around with the babysitter, there are kids of different age. So the
Right.
kids are like always talking, so she knows their name. So that is a blessing, definitely,
Yeah.
because she suddenly got into kids
Yeah.
straight away. And there
Yeah.
are people walking, because there are a lot of old people, and people walk in the evening. So
Yeah.
everyone walks around, say, hi, Adya, how are you?
Hmm.
So she has that interaction. Uh,
Yeah.
So a lot of people, the neighbors, I'm like, we were mind blown. They give gifts because I'm like, somebody's bringing toys, somebody's bringing something. You don't expect that thing from,
Yeah.
say, a big cities.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
definitely are. They don't come to each other's houses exactly like uh, small
Yeah.
town group in a different version of the place.
That's right.
But here we shifted because of course you get more opportunities. Of course you are more individualistic.
Yeah.
You never really cared. Like, okay, I am doing my work.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're gonna bulldoze through it. You're gonna make it. Because when you are in that mind, you really don't see all of these things.
Yeah.
We lived in the same society for 10 years,
Wow. Hmm.
and for good number of years, we never went to the garden at the back.
Hmm.
I never noticed the trees. No, serious. It's such a weird thing to say when I and suddenly the lockdown happened and I started meditating and all of that. And I saw the tree right in front of my window. I was like,
Wow.
holy shit, there is this beautiful tree. So sometimes the things are just there.
Yeah.
You really don't notice it.
Yeah.
And so in COVID, I talked to a lot of people because I was suddenly, you have these questions around why you are doing these things.
Yeah.
And every person I talked to, so somebody I talked to the first,
Hmm.
that person said he was talking to me, and then the bird chirped
Hmm.
the background. We live in a very nice, quiet part of Bombay. It's very, very beautiful. And he said, "Can you hear the bird?"
Hmm.
And I'm like, "Holy, this is the first time hearing." Oh, actually, I do live in a better place.
Yeah.
So the beauty also is very, you have to see the beauty.
That's right. Yeah.
You might be surrounded by it, but you might just see the dirt.
Yeah.
You might be just living in your head.
Yeah.
Um, and the first thing is if the body is not connected, uh, which I think is very important for women. Women are disassociated because they're just busy.
Yeah.
They think they have to, for example, now they're busy in a different format. They have to make it.
Yeah.
You are reading everywhere. You have to make it. You have to do this. You
Mm.
have to wake up 1 o'clock in the night. I have to make it.
Yeah.
Correct. I haven't made it.
Yeah.
Uh, for that sort of person, it becomes very important that they get. So I got a jolt in life,
Yeah.
and then I could see it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will not get that probably.
Yeah.
You have to hear someone saying this exact experience in this way.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, like I said, the people's perception will change.
Yeah.
They will see you as actually, oh, you lost the drive. I
Mm.
would actually no, literally, no. All my dreams are still there. Dreams do not get lost at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't worry on that. It's just the people's perception change, definitely, because your language changes, your
Yeah.
your reaction change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I think I veered away from that question.
No, but I'm very interested in what you're saying right now. I'm also very interested to know, Shubh, how do you and Chris divide the emotional and logistical load of parenthood between the two of you? And as you said, he's the more working parent and you are the more caregiving parent in that sense, if we could see it.
Yeah.
So how does it work in reality?
Uh, so I'm gonna put one thing there. Okay. When you are each other's friend,
Yeah.
which every husband wife is,
Hmm.
assuming they have to be friends.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is no point living together.
Yeah.
Correct? Because if the person is not looking after you and you are not looking after the other person, there is no, the love aspect is different.
Yes.
This is very important. Um, so we have gone through literally ups and downs in lives where we were taking care of each other
Hmm.
different times.
Yeah.
We were totally dependent on each other in
Hmm.
multiple scenarios. So this is not new for us. This is basically we know that when the other person cannot do something, we will do it.
Yeah.
So I can lean in, he can lean in. So
Yeah.
we have total faith in that dynamics. So we
Hmm.
do not. The problem is that if you don't have that understanding or have that kind of friendship at the base of it, and the base is just love,
Yeah.
correct? Then you will have anger,
Yeah.
right? Then there is no reason, then you will be angry. But you have to be in a position where the other person is doing things for you and
Yeah.
and you are doing something for the other person,
Yeah.
correct? And the importance of what is important to the other person,
That's right.
correct? So I know that for example, some meetings are extremely important for him. I would say, okay, we are going to be in the next room.
Yeah.
There's nothing there's nothing reason in that day I might be doing more work.
Yeah.
Like even he's traveling,
Hmm.
I'm nervous, definitely, because I have to take care of the child. But but it's not anger.
Yeah.
So there's a very difference between these two things. You can be unregulated
Yeah.
because you're doing a lot. Then your partner can come back and say, "Oh," and we don't even say that.
Yeah.
We are not
Vocal.
very old school little bit.
Yeah.
I talk a lot,
Yeah.
talk too much. But there has to be this belief,
Yeah.
that is the bedrock of it, that we both have time in light.
Yeah.
We that it's not that the one person is living in dark.
Hmm.
So like if I'm doing this at this moment, in the next moment, I will be doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
Correct. And this is not a child is not a load at all.
Yeah.
The first thought.
Yeah.
Because if you have that thought that child is a load in
Hmm.
any sense, because it does come to mind. ऐसा नहीं है कि we are
Hmm.
human beings. You catch your mind thinking like that,
Yeah.
and you have to remind yourself she's not a load.
Yeah. You chose it.
You chose it, take care. And I have to remind myself, oh my God, I was spraying, literally.
Yeah.
Right? So, and also I have to remind that she is only going to be tiny for so long.
Yeah.
I can see her personality, whatever. She's saying no more.
Yeah.
There will be place where she will say, you don't know anything, Mama. It's like
Yeah.
whole things away. Correct. So this is the only tiny time we have.
Yeah.
And this time will only happen now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not gonna repeat.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes it more precious.
Yeah.
So you deal with that point in that way.
Yeah.
So my point is the question, I totally understand everyone's question. Of course, I understand. Uh, but working on relationship is first step, then child.
Yeah.
Child is actually the last step.
Yeah.
Child has nothing to do with how you do your personal life, how you
Yeah.
do your financial life. You please sort that out first. Sort
Yeah.
yourself out first. Correct. If you are with the wrong person, then change the person.
Yeah.
Or if you want to adjust, then adjust or do whatever.
Yeah.
Is men, women, both.
Yeah.
So, like I said, fortunately, we had a child very late.
Yeah.
We could go through those phases. But a lot of people are, compressed. They are married. Then next year or third year, they have a child. So
Yeah.
we barely know themselves. They barely know the partner, and suddenly they both are in a responsible position.
Yeah.
And the problem happens is which I feel for everyone. There's People feel constrained on self expression.
Yeah.
So if there's no self expression, then it's very difficult to not have anger.
Yeah.
Because I know that, and because I have been there. Uh,
Yeah.
you have to self express. You have to put it out in the world. You have to do things. You have to be your way. And if somebody's standing there and say you can't be that, men or women, you will be angry.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm I'm also very drawn to what you've said about women's health in particular and health in general. How often we don't have access to information about our own bodies, especially when it comes to fertility, hormones,
Yeah.
and long-term well-being. What are some of those things that you wish more women knew?
So first, nutrition,
Mm,
definitely. Correct. I think last generation really, at least I can talk from my parents. I don't know about everyone else. The focus was on education.
yeah,
Focus was on sharpening your mind,
yeah,
because everyone thought that if you are intelligent,
mm,
you're going to survive the world.
yeah, yeah,
So the thing that kids got from their parents was, oh, we will do this, we will do this mentally.
yeah,
Mental exercises. You are
yeah,
exercising your mind basically all your life,
yeah,
opening it. And while sitting down,
yeah,
you're not moving.
yeah,
So we are not living in villages where that naturally happens.
yeah,
We're naturally having this, you're watching the nature, you're falling down, you're doing all that. So physical and mental is happening because they grew up in villages. My parents
yeah,
grew up in villages. So they never really thought that this is a very different scenario.
right.
Suddenly they moved to a city.
Yeah,
They're living in small house from the bigger houses,
yeah,
where
yeah,
they grew up. That this is any different scenario, but
yeah,
it's a different scenario.
yeah,
You are living in a constrained space.
yeah,
Correct. You are living alone. My parents lived alone. There was no grandparents around us.
yeah,
Uh, and you have to formulate a very different way of being
right.
for this life.
Yeah,
So, for example, I have this saying that you can win everything, but you need to know what you want and you need to know how to do it.
yeah,
First, understand that.
yeah,
So, they applied the same theories which they were told or they thought was successful, because every generation think that, this is the way to be successful.
yeah,
So, health was not a aspect in that. There was no conversation about health. Though my mother used to go to dentist, gynecologist, it was an open thing in our house. We were very vocal about it. And I'm pretty sure last generation, a lot of people didn't even do that.
Yeah.
So, sorry. Um, so of course, we knew that there is gynecologist. Our mother goes to it. We knew there is a dentist. We have to go to it. But it was blindly followed.
Yeah.
If my doctor said it, then it must be correct.
Yeah.
There is no, because there is no internet.
Hmm.
We are in a blessed position because there is internet. We can listen to anyone.
Yeah.
We can just and make our own opinion.
Hmm.
We are in the flood of information. People think it's a wrong thing, but I think it's a blessing also.
Yeah.
Pick and choose.
Yeah.
So not that I knew of the health thing by myself. It's all on the internet. So you research a little bit more. You
Yeah.
know a little bit more. Also, like when you start exercising, you start understanding your body. Actually, the body gives you information.
Yeah.
This food is feeling correct. This food is not feeling correct. So we stop taking, for example, we don't use oils. We only use coconut oil.
Hmm.
Suddenly you can see the difference. It's a lot of those things. Um, how the weight, muscle mass, weight is not weight. It is
Yeah.
all muscle mass and fat. I had zero muscles.
Yeah.
I knew that, that is a thing.
Yeah.
But I think I see it everywhere. All the women are picking up that
Yeah.
it's not a very uncommon thought now.
Hmm.
It's not that people don't know it.
Yeah.
I think anyone who is looking towards that direction, they know it.
Right.
Uh, that, like I said, 40 is not old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we deserve a little better. And when you
Yeah.
say deserve better, you need your body with you.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
And it's not about work and all. It's for yourself. Like I said, the moment we started feeling better, I think my throat is gone.
You want to take a break and have some water?
No, it's okay, I think. So it's basically when you start on that path, suddenly you will see the next step.
Yeah.
You cannot copy anyone. If I say whatever, do this, do that, do that, you still have to go through our own journey of
Yeah.
and mental makeup of how much I can do that. Do I really want to do that?
Hmm.
You still have to take all those decisions yourself.
Yeah. I also want to know from you, Shubh, what role has Chris played in your healing journey, especially in the years after your ectopic pregnancy and before conceiving Adya? In that time, how did that time kind of shape your relationship?
Hmm. So it's very difficult for him. That's the reason, I have more respect for him for that. Look, nobody wants to see their partner breaking down.
Yeah.
It's not a pleasant sight.
Yeah.
Suddenly, she's talking to everyone.
Yeah.
Was actually like talking to people from Twitter. I would talk to anyone,
Yeah.
and mm, and not just because I wanted to connect to people who I thought have gone through that.
Yeah.
And you have to make this adjustments around your parents,
Yeah.
adjust around your you have to see your childhood what it is, not have that rosy picture,
Yeah.
because in your 20s you have this very imaginary, my parents were the best.
Yeah.
Not the best, but there's definitely there will always be a flaws in parent. Even my child will grow up and say, my mother was wrong. And I'm fully prepared to say, like, please, when your child is adult, just say that, oh, I might have flaws here and there.
Yeah.
I'm fully prepared for that mentally. But the last generation didn't knew it.
Yeah.
Being Now I can have a very sympathetic view.
Yeah.
Uh, but for when you first acknowledge it, and you first, this is basically metaphorical death,
Yeah.
literally, of the world you know it.
Yeah.
You have to hit the rock bottom to be there,
Yeah.
to see that. You have to see the people as people, not as parents. You have to see all of those relationships falling. You have to go through that. Basically, everyone is dying, literally.
Yeah.
And you are standing there and you are saying, oh, I thought, this was this and so was this. This is not going to fall. And your partner is technically watching you
Yeah.
do all that.
Yeah.
And so he said nothing. That
Hmm.
is the best part, actually. He didn't interfere.
Hmm.
Pressure, not pressurize for me for anything, neither affection, not anything else.
Yeah.
Let me be. I would say I have a conversation with this person, and he'll say, okay, what time do you need space?
Hmm.
Leave the room. I can sit in the other room. He would not interfere in those because I talk to everyone.
Yeah.
I would ask this question of why this is this way,
Yeah.
or maybe everyone goes through this way.
Yeah.
Um, it's definitely midlife crisis. But either you do it in one phase or you do it multiple times in your life.
Yeah.
I think it's decompressing.
Yeah.
Uh, Suddenly when your health gets better, your mind runs better.
Yeah.
And start understanding, holy shit, this was this. I made a mistake here, or this was done. I'm like, this is a better way to do it.
Yeah.
All of those ideas get very compressed in a very small time. At least for me. I think people do that in multiple phases.
Yeah.
I did it once, and which was literally the toughest part. So he was just bystander,
Hmm.
the fair,
Hmm.
said nothing, not good, not bad.
Hmm.
Um, just took it this time will pass,
Yeah.
and it does pass.
Yeah.
And that's what we are doing in parenting also. Like, this time is good or bad. Sometimes we have full sleepless nights,
Yeah.
not well. This will pass.
Yeah.
Doesn't define the whole childhood or parenthood thing.
That's right. Yeah.
And so he was, I think that was our first run on this.
Yeah.
And so there was no conversation. I didn't do much work in those years.
Hmm.
I was just thinking,
Yeah.
right? So I would say I got a luxury with my partner to do that.
Yeah.
So he was like holding the fort while I was just meditating.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you are living with a person who's just meditating
Yeah.
and thinking through things
Yeah.
and not cooking much either?
Hmm.
Not doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
So he'd put a blind eye, he would do it.
Hmm.
Or if he doesn't want to do it, we just order in.
Hmm.
We live in a place where we could do all those things.
Right.
Um, so yeah, matlab, you get my point. So he
Yeah.
held the fort when I was down.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I don't have any problems doing the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with us, it keeps on shifting here and there.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's just because our journey is like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it when you have a very stable life, you don't want to see much of that, and you don't see the other person's personality in very depth because you are
Yeah.
not down in dumps
Yes.
or
Yeah.
you
Because
want
things
to
are
hide.
moving. Yeah. Yeah.
So both of those things are very important to see.
That's right. That's right. And I wanted to get a little philosophical here now, Shubh. And and when you think about the kind of world you want Adya to grow up in, what values do you hope to build in her everyday life?
I think the first thing is you have to be creative in life.
Yeah.
That is the foremost, most important thing. because you will be stuck in places
Yeah.
and you need to be extremely creative, maneuvering to get out of it.
Yeah.
Creative is just not, so the problem with the word creative is that it's stuck in this whole design field.
Yeah.
No designers are creative. No, everyone is creative.
Yeah.
Creative means that you know how to maneuver.
Yeah.
You want to get an end result, and you have to be creative to get to that result.
That's right.
And human mind is extremely sharp from that point of view. We don't use it enough to
Hmm.
do that maneuvering.
Hmm.
Because people have told us, oh, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
There's also a path laid down.
Yeah.
We do not find alternative paths,
Yeah.
correct? So, for example, I was working in architecture in the studios in Delhi,
Hmm.
was not very happy, thought that this is not how I would like to spend my life. Then I met these guys, they were in startup, and we said, like, let's start something
Yeah.
in a tech, an entirely different format. I was talking and working, um, enjoyable, but couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
And then he started on his own. He's in his own lane. I have nothing to contribute in that field. Uh, for me, I thought, okay, then I started doing architecture. And I thought, okay, what I really want people gave me offices. So I did a lot of offices interiors. And then I thought, oh, this is just, monotonous. I was making money.
Yeah.
Um, I was like, you know what? Houses are much more challenging. People
Yeah.
don't think it like that
Yeah.
because I was going towards like personal, what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So that creates a path for you. Not saying it's success, not saying it's not success. Money, I'm not talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your soul's vision, your personal path.
That's right.
That is where happiness is. All the grudges with everyone stems from you not walking your path.
Yeah.
That is, so you have to be very selfish in that format. Like, and it has nothing to do with kids, it has nothing to do with the partners, it has nothing to do with anyone. They are just they are there. If they are there, great. If they are not, then they are not there.
Yeah.
That's how it is. You have to
Yeah.
make peace with those things. Um, then somebody else will walk in and help you. There's no dearth of human beings on earth. Um, what was the question? I totally forgot actually.
We were talking about the kind of values you want
Yeah.
to bring Adya.
So, like I said, the creativity is the first aspect. You have to be extremely creative. You have to be extremely. You have to understand people.
Yeah.
And that is a lost art. You have to talk to people, you have to understand people, you have to understand psychologies, you have to understand what is motivating these people to do something. Then only you can be their friends, then only you can actually build any kind of team.
Yeah.
Uh, like team which sticks around, not
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
not like people. If you are a big company which you are already known, then
Hmm.
it's different, But to create a culture, definitely. So you
Yeah.
can only be an entrepreneur when you do all of these things.
Yeah.
And the entrepreneur, I am saying, like you are also an entrepreneur, no? You're doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur means the person who can stand on its own,
Yeah.
who has a vision, who wants to do certain things certain way.
Yeah.
Uh, and money is a byproduct.
Yeah.
Money is very important, definitely. Just don't want to say that money is not important to her at all. So, money is related to your happiness, money is related to your health, money is related to everything, you know. That was another thing, not enough importance was given to it. Importance was given to knowledge,
Yeah.
the wisdom, thoda bahut,
Yeah.
money. So,
Yeah.
because we have this culture of not talking about money.
That's right. Yeah.
Uh, And we keep on saying my women don't have money, but the point is nobody had money.
Yeah.
Because and the whole thought around money was the people who make money are probably making it in a wrong way.
Yeah.
So first those thoughts has to be kind of not given.
Hmm.
No. If the child thinks that money, only wrong people make money, then you should assume that the child will not pursue and will not get money from his pursuit also.
Yeah.
So if you imagine your child is an artist, correct? It should sustain the child
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
some format that is money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And money keeps the house going, money keeps the that. So it's not about what you do, what you study. More than I actually do not care about that too much.
Mm.
I think if you're a intelligent person, you will find the stuff you want to study.
Yeah.
So the maneuvering is more towards what are you interested in studying?
Right.
What are you really interested in? Oh, you like this. Let's double down on that. So another thing, the last generation didn't double down on the things the kids liked.
Yeah.
The kid chose whatever came to them.
Yeah.
So, for example, it's a very funny story how I became an architect.
Yes.
The whole thought was you become an engineer,
Yeah.
correct? You have to take math, you have to do this, you have to do this. I totally agree on, by the way. I'm thankful for my mother for me to push me into this. Otherwise, I would have just done some BA or something. Literature. Basically, I was a literature kid
Hmm.
or painting.
Thanks,
That's fine.
Shubh. I am a literature kid. Okay. So thanks for saying I would have done.
But you get, by pushing me into this whole, because she was
Yeah.
like, "You have to padna here.
Hmm.
You have to do till 12th.
Yeah.
Engineer or not, that's up to you."
Yeah.
So then when we have to give exams, this, whatever it was called, I forgot at that time,
The
different.
JE,
J or yeah,
some
something,
such.
some such. We have to pass that thing. So there was this separate thing for architecture, one
Hmm.
exam, and I read the word architecture, and
Hmm.
this sounds where my I can be an engineer and I can not be an engineer.
Yeah.
That was exactly my first thought. Yeah. Uh, I think the day I said tick mark to that form, I thought I'm gonna do this
Wow.
because this sounds interesting because this is not engineering.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be an engineer.
Hmm.
Okay, my father was like, "You become a software engineer."
Hmm.
That's a funny story that once when we started this company and we were doing this software, and I was laughing aloud that my father's dream of making me a software engineer.
Has come true.
This company. Because they were really like, you can't pull this off. This is for elite.
Hmm.
Architecture is for elite. You need a backing, um, and all of those things. The design, middle class kids ke bacche design nahi padhte,
Hmm.
how you manage it. And then I started working in the office. They were like, "Ha, chal, theek hai." And now there is a naukri.
Hmm.
And then I just flipped it again. I said, "I'm not gonna do job."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, this child is totally beyond us." You know. So you need one partner in crime kind of person with you.
Yeah.
I would say that was another thing. I think the Chris always gave me that freedom.
Yeah.
I gave him that freedom
Yeah.
and I told him like we went through really hard times with our startup. But then not for a single second, I would say, please leave this and do a job.
Yeah.
I'd say if that is what his soul is saying, that is what his passion is, and he knows when to shut the company down.
Yeah.
He that decision should come from him, not from me.
That's right. Yeah.
Correct. So same thing. He gives me that freedom. We do not meddle in this aspect with each other.
Yeah.
We do, we are soundboards,
Yeah.
but beyond that, the decision making is not other person's job.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that has to be the kid has to know that also somewhere, no, to stand on its own basically. And
Yeah.
not every parents want that for the kids to stand on it, but they do actually opposite of that all the time. You know, so I was like in the Montessori thing, I was very happy. They do not restrict the child.
Yeah.
Um, So, for example, like we had this person to bathe her because it
Hmm.
was so tiny. And at every time I would say, please don't do that. Push
Hmm.
nahi karna. Zabardasti nahi karna. That was my word. Zabardasti nahi karna बच्चे से. ठीक है. And उसकी मर्जी. They think that how can a child respond to you?
Yeah.
Yes and no, because the child is not saying yes or no. So it's just small. I think the child is responding. She's crying.
Yes.
They have their mind. You
Yeah.
are the one who is not listening. You
Yes.
are waiting for their words to come out.
Yeah.
You want them to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Then you will believe that, yes or no. Then also you will not believe most of the time.
Yeah.
So then they will become 35-year-old adults.
Hmm.
And then they will stay all these grievances to random. Okay. No, it has to be like they will sort themselves out in that way.
Yeah.
Um, so the pushing of the child
Hmm.
in your mold
Yeah.
is not going to happen.
Yeah.
But you can have a safety net.
Yes.
You can maneuver,
Hmm.
definitely. You can see through. You can see what the kid is interested in, and like I said, double down on that.
Yeah.
Rather than pushing them in making them in what you are, maybe. For example, like the way I talk.
Yeah.
The other day she was very interesting. She looks at her hand and it's a little dry. And she's like, "Ye kya hai?
Hmm.
Your hands are dry." And we bought some hat for her.
Oh.
In the evening, she want to wear socks and
Hmm.
hat and
Wow.
to watch herself in a mirror. She's like 19 months old.
Yeah.
I'm kind of little opposite of that.
Yeah.
Too much. I don't wear makeup. I don't a lot of things I don't do.
Hmm.
But the child has that thing. She's like, oh, bangles, this,
Hmm.
that. Like, maybe I got a real, different person here.
Yeah.
She has her own personality. I will let it be.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be me,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
different person. So that's the first thing in mind. It's a different person and might have very different tendencies. For example, I don't eat zyada masaledar stuff.
Hmm.
I'm like plain stuff. She's like, I need to have some, there should be masala in it. Small child and so she's a bland food, no. Some cumin, some this, some that, So she wants some flavor.
Yeah.
So I started making a food with little flavor. She's very happy that this is it.
How adorable is that?
The kids have very different personalities,
Yeah.
They're and some of them will be same, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have their own personality. You,
Yeah.
you do stuff like they want it, then
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And Shubh, if you could sit across your pre-parent self, is there something that you would like to tell her?
I would just say don't fret too much. Yeah, I fretted too much. I was too anxious.
Yeah.
Um, Also, I let people used to ask me, "You're not going to have child and all." I
Mm.
to have child, because my mother also used to ask that,
Yeah.
"What is this? What is this? Blah blah blah. You are, this age or that age."
Yeah.
Some days I will let it take me down.
Yeah.
And you don't need to. You don't need to answer that to anyone.
Yeah. True.
That's a very, very personal question. I think it's sometimes people are in a mental state where they will answer it properly. If you're
Hmm.
not willing to take that answer, if you're not willing to take their answer, don't ask the question
Yeah.
because then they might give you a very random answer.
Yeah.
So if you're asking for truth, you will get the truth
Yeah.
and you might not like it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
better not ask the truth then.
Yeah.
But if you're asking for truth, then all kind of truth will come.
Yeah. And be prepared.
Be prepared. Don't get shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if somebody is going around and asking why you're not married, why you don't have kids, why you don't have this, why you don't have that,
Hmm.
be prepared to actually know the whole life of that person.
Yeah.
or some kind of answer. Or the anger answer usually is they're tired.
Hmm.
Women give angry answers because they're tired.
Yeah.
And there's no friendship at that point, there's no trust at that point, and you are just a random person asking random question.
Yeah.
But accusing,
Yeah.
you're not asking from a kind heart.
Yeah.
Any question which is asked from a kind heart, even if it's the most difficult question, I think people will give answers.
Yeah.
It's accusations which, or how can you be so different, how
Yeah.
can you be like this, how can you survive?
Hmm.
How dare you live your life like this?
Yeah.
Where people get really angry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the tone, it's that which causes more problem.
That's right. That's right.
Question itself is like, yeah, why don't you have kid? Oh, we were not ready.
Yeah.
We when we will ready, we will.
Hmm.
Also, there is again, it's a very kind answer if the person is asking it with kindness. Otherwise, you are angry. It's like,
Yeah.
this is not your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So very same question, different answers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get the point of whole anger and I get the point of all of those things.
Yeah.
Only thing I would say is that it shouldn't be self-destructive.
Yeah.
I am all in for being extremely angry with men. I'm for extremely angry with everyone. But if it is self-destructive for women,
Hmm.
if it's not helping them, uh, then it's a wrong path.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Or like I say, leave the person.
Hmm.
We do have divorce options these
Yeah.
days.
Every day, these days, much easier than
Yeah, of
earlier.
course.
But
We-
yeah.
So you can definitely, and I know people who have done that, but it's you do have that option
Yeah.
rather than self-destructing yourself in a relationship or
Yeah.
living in that anger or that I feel is more destructive in
Yeah. Yeah.
and you don't even know the source of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct. And you don't have to take the anger of the world
Yes.
because everyone's story is very different.
Yeah.
So I would say stick to your story,
Yeah.
your
Good.
circumstances. And for example, we can be angry for, say, for extreme cases, like, say, for rape cases.
Yeah.
To be angry, definitely. But it shouldn't be self destructive.
Yeah.
I would still have this mindfulness of saying that, oh, look, I'm blessed,
Yeah.
first of all.
Yeah.
Because, look, I have also done multiple things where I was in different parts of the countries alone.
Yeah.
I was in Jharkhand when in my 20s. I went there without anything. And there was no cell phones. And
Yeah.
now, when this news comes in, and I always go back to that time.
Yeah.
So I just got lucky.
Yeah.
That's my answer. I got lucky.
Yeah.
So I always come back to that mindfulness. Oh, I got lucky.
Yeah.
And every one of us will say that we got lucky in some scenarios in life.
Yeah.
We have been stuck in a place where we did a lot of random shit also.
Yeah.
Uh, and I can understand all of that. But it's not my pain to have.
Yeah.
I can be a part of collective anger, but I
Yeah.
am not going to take a personal pain inside my heart,
Yeah.
personal load in my heart,
Yeah.
because then you are destructing your family life.
Yeah. Yeah. So powerful. I am taking this back, Shubh.
Women are empathetic
Yeah.
beings. We are feeling beings. The whole world is built on feelings. So if I take everyone's, because I do feel, suddenly if I'm in someone's presence, I feel everything.
Yeah.
Like it sounds spooky, but I do feel everything. So I have to tell to myself that, there is a separation here.
Yeah.
I can be empathetic, but I don't have to take the pain in.
Yes.
Because if I do that, then I will be that mother
Yeah.
to my child.
Yeah.
and I will be that partner to my husband,
Yeah.
where I am talking about some random event and I'm extremely emotional about it. And my partner will say, "Oh, what is happening?
Hmm.
My life is, my household is like falling apart. What is happening here?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because when you have read enough literature, because I started reading very early in life. That was another thing. The kids have to be age appropriate literature.
Yes.
So I read literature way too early.
Yeah.
My mother she was into all of these things.
Yeah.
And for 10-year, 12-year child to read Dostoevsky is not a great idea. So the child doesn't know the difference between, should I feel this thing or not feel this thing?
Yeah.
So of course you have to feel this thing, but this is not yours,
Yes.
you know. So once you cross some age, and when you read it, and it's a different thing altogether.
That's right.
So I read it very early in life. I was done and dusted with all of those things.
Hmm.
I took all of those things to heart.
Yeah.
Those people to my heart.
Yeah.
Um, and then I had to, that's the reason you have to decompress them at some point of life.
Yes. Yes.
So the age appropriate literature, there's nothing wrong with literature. Just age appropriate is, which I will be a little bit more mindful.
Yeah.
Not like, yes, some books are important, like read everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can maneuver that thing,
That's right.
which
Yeah.
I think a lot of people now know that.
Yeah.
Because we had like libraries at home that could be part of Utake. That was the thought.
Hmm. 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 Yeah. And my last question to you, if you could leave our listeners with one insight that captures what you stand for as a parent and a professional and a person, what would that be?
The only thing I would say, be yourself.
Hmm.
Happiness lies in that, and teach your kids that thing only. So they can stand in front of you, say that I'm like this,
Yeah.
take it or not.
Hmm.
And you will have tantrums. You will have your own tantrums, you will have kids' tantrums, but that's how it is.
Yeah.
The kids are not your copy. They are their own people. And you respect them, you get respect. And if you listen to them, they will listen to you.
Yeah.
Very simple. It's any human relationship is like that. We forget with kids, basically.
Yeah.
Uh, so be yourself works in every aspect, in your profession, in your personal life, because then you know what to stand for.
Yeah. That's right.
If
Yeah.
you really don't know what I want and what I stand for, what I am,
Hmm.
what my desires are. Another thing which is very people don't understand desires, what my desires are.
Hmm.
How would you know them? What do you want? Correct.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurship also is a desire. No, I have a desire to do something.
Yeah.
So in what direction? What desire?
Yeah.
It's like to be me.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shubh, for showing up with such honesty, clarity, and quiet power, for reminding us that health is a foundation, not a footnote, that motherhood can begin at 40. Not just motherhood, life, as you said,
Right.
life can begin at 40. Uh,
Correct.
Even when the systems around us aren't built with us in mind, we can still find our own way with design, intention, and love. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for a nice conversation. Hope we will talk soon. It was
Yes,
really nice. And
yes.
with more inputs, more understanding and
Yeah.
everything.
Yes. And to everyone listening in, thank you for joining us for this intimate conversation. If something Shubh shared resonated with you, or might you think of someone else walking a similar path, please do share this episode with them. You never know who might need to hear that they're not alone. If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing to Parenthood, leaving us a review, and following along wherever you get your podcast. We've got many more honest, heartfelt conversations coming your way. Until next time, take gentle care.